I was the tragic first love, the one who died taking a knife for the male lead. 10 years after my death, a system forcibly resurrected me and told me I had to be a stepmom. Host, your mission is to save the child on that rooftop. He is your husband's son. If you don't intervene, he will die today. I didn't want to watch someone die, but I've been spoiled and headstrong my whole life. So, I strode over in my stilettos and gave him a light nudge with my foot. You're just as pathetic as your father. What's with all this melodrama? Where is your dad, anyway? Get him on the phone. Tell him to come pick me up. The kid just stared at me, then looked around as if I were a ghost that had materialized in broad daylight. In the end, he didn't ask anything, just lowered his head again. I couldn't stand his defeated posture. I ran a hand through my hair in frustration and snatched his phone. You know your dad's number? The call log and notifications were completely empty, not even a single spam text. He fumbled for a moment before slowly typing in a number. The phone barely rang once before the call was disconnected, leaving a series of hollow beeps. I frowned. The nerve of that Patrick Shaw. He's really gotten bold, ignoring calls now. The kid, however, showed no reaction. He just stood beside me in silence, a perfect little statue. After 8 consecutive calls, someone finally answered. A woman's voice. This is Patrick Shaw's office. He's busy. And then she hung up, not even giving me a chance to curse her out. I was so angry I wanted to smash the phone, but the kid tugged on my sleeve. I forced myself to calm down. It's fine, sweetie. I'll take you to find Patrick and we'll settle this. The kid just kept holding my sleeve, looking dazed. After a long pause, he managed to choke out a few words. Don't want to be a bother. Those words completely deflated my anger. I sighed in resignation. Then let's go back. Once we were in the car, I studied him for a while. Your name is Sam? MHM. I asked the system again. Is he really Patrick Shaw's son? According to the rules of your human world, yes. I accepted my fate and started trying to be a decent stepmom, making conversation with Sam. I asked him what he liked to eat. He said anything was fine. I asked him what he liked to play. He didn't answer. I asked him why he was on the rooftop. He turned away from me. I finally lost my patience, pulled him into my lap, and asked if Patrick knew he was playing Let's Jump Off the Roof. Only then did he slowly lift his head like a little robot and say, enunciating each word carefully, Dad's busy. Don't want to be a bother. I felt a lump of frustration rise in my throat. Was don't want to be a bother the only phrase he knew? How on earth had Patrick raised his son to be like this? The system quietly tried to comfort me. Host, don't be so harsh. The child is just too considerate. He keeps everything bottled up inside. Of course, I knew that. He was just a little boy. This was clearly the fault of the adults in his life. The car pulled up to a familiar house. A crucial question suddenly occurred to me. System, where's his mother? There isn't one. Isn't one? The moment I stepped through the front door, I felt a sense of disorientation, as if I had just gone out for a walk instead of being gone for 10 years. The coat I had carelessly hung in the entryway was still there, perfectly preserved without a single wrinkle. There was no sign of another woman's presence in the entire house, except for a green hairpin on the console table. I went upstairs, my feet finding their way easily, and opened the door to my old room. It was exactly as I had left it. When I came back downstairs, Sam was gone. I searched everywhere and finally found him in a corner of the living room. He had unearthed a calculus workbook thicker than a brick and was methodically working through the problems. He was so well behaved it was terrifying. Is he always like this? I asked the system. MHM. For the son of Patrick Shaw, not being exceptional is also a form of being a bother. I immediately marched over, snatched the workbook, and tossed it in the trash. Sam stared at me, then his brow furrowed. His head tilted slightly, like a little robot with a short circuit. I stared back at him,